Okay, so I was talking with someone today, and the subject of marriage came up, and they had mentioned something regarding um, marriage. Okay, so I think that sometimes before people get married, that they'll wonder, would I ever get married or things like that? Because sure, like before I was married, I used to wonder for myself, oh gosh, would I ever meet the right person? Or how could I ever meet the right person was usually my thought. Or actually, I had more negative. I was like, no one will ever love me, that kind of thing. I was really bad. And I kind of resigned myself. I had always thought I would have children, but I didn't know if men would be in the picture at all somehow. I don't know how the children were supposed to get there, but yeah. Um, I guess because I grew up with like divorced and single moms. So, that wasn't kind of really, the A and the B and the C, adding together. I didn't quite exactly know how those would all come into line. Um, so I think that by the time I had gotten to where I had basically thought, yeah, I had no interest in marriage, and I just wasn't even interested in men or women or anything. It's just like I'm going to school. I'm just thinking about my, things. I don't even think about my friends. I'm like just thinking about what I want to get done to, progress in my life as far as school and work and things like that. So I think partly because I certainly wasn't anymore looking. And I mean, not even in the back of my head, not even in like a catch part of my heart, not in my like wildest thought or dream did I think that I was, looking for a husband. That because I had forgotten it, when I met my husband's mother, um, I made a prayer because I absolutely loved her spirit, and there's no other way that I could say it. What she displayed to me with her spirit was so beautiful, and it was like a knee-jerk reaction inside my heart. I heard myself say, "Oh my God, if she ever had a son, I would love to marry him." Now, there's a couple of weird things about that. Firstly, that I didn't know if she had any children. Secondly, I literally like was looking around trying to hear who would say that. That's not me. I don't want to get married. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Now, I had genuinely forgotten that I had made that prayer and never considered it again because, like I said, I'd completely forgotten it. She did at one time. I got to meet her daughter, and I thought, oh, okay, that's probably all she ever had. And I never asked her, which that's a weird story, anyways. But when I met her son, I didn't know that it was him. Okay, so I was at a party that my brother, my brother was with me, and that was a fun and crazy night. It was a costume party actually. It wasn't Halloween. It was in the spring, and my husband was dressed like in a character that was like a workout guy from Saturday Night Live, Hans and Franz. Okay, and I was dressed in a geisha costume, like with full face. Okay, total Japanese. Okay, and if you want to hear about why I would be in that costume, I'll make a blog about that. So we were at this party, and he couldn't really see what I looked like. And I came with my brother, who genuinely I'd like, you got to protect me. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not interested in anybody. Well, whenever you say you don't want something, that's when people want to give it to you. It's like the worst thing ever. So, I was talking with everybody, but I was interested in none of anybody at all. I was just enjoying myself as friends with everybody, and because I was just meeting all kinds of new different people, um, my husband, he noticed me, and he puts it like this: I didn't want to wait on a line to talk to you. And the only reason that that was the case was because nobody had met me before in that group of friends. So that was the only reason why. I'm not that interesting, I promise. So, um, when he didn't talk to me, I thought that was very strange just because I thought I was there to meet people. But the person whose house I was at, which I wonder if I should send you this vlog, because you are on my Facebook and I won't say your name. I miss you so much. Anyways, um, I I guess he was his friend, and they were like workout buddies or whatever. And he had told me about his friend, who's my husband now. And so I had expected that I was going to get to chat with him and see what a great guy he was because it was his friend as well. But when he didn't extend himself to me, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And I'm sorry to say this, and I really apologize, but when I first saw my husband, he was getting over a really bad illness and he looked rather sickly. And so I was kind of aghast when I saw him. I was like, oh my gosh, is he okay? And okay, I won't say all the snotty things that I said of what I thought he looked like because, yes, I was very snotty. Okay, so he didn't talk to me. He looked this way because he was, I didn't know he was sick. And he was supposed to be my friend's friend, and he didn't talk to me. And yet I got to meet everybody else at that party. I should send this vlog to you, too. You know who you are. Oh, my gosh. Guitar. Anyway, yeah, amazing guitar player. So, at that party, we never spoke. Okay. And later on, he called me because he had an indication from someone that he should. And if you want to know what that is a whole other vlog. Okay. Yes, tarot cards were involved. So, he called me to say, I had a tarot card reading and you were in it. And I was like, oh, this is the biggest line. If you're going to feed me a line, let it be a good one. Why this? This is in California, so maybe that makes more sense there. And somehow, I conceded, yes, I had to be talked into the idea of going to a movie with him. Okay, so I went to a movie with him. And that was a whole fiasco, which I'll talk about that some other time. And I should send this vlog to you. Oh my gosh, because you were there too. All these people are still on my Facebook. How does this happen? So, on the ride home from the movie, he used a term of endearment. Okay. I don't know why, but in the Midwest, we call people honey, darling, sweetheart, sugar. Just like, you'll flip into a word like that when you get familiar with someone, and it's not considered insulting. I mean, and like even in Maryland, when you're leaving Maryland, it says, see you soon, sweetie, or see you soon, honey. Wait, if somebody lives in Maryland that watches this, tell me, I remember what it says, but I can't remember the exact word. But it's some like term of endearment. And so I'm very accustomed to, calling my friends things like that. Well, he called me darling. And he says, well, when you didn't slap my face for calling you darling, I knew everything was good. And I was like, yeah, actually, I really like that because he was accustomed to women just being very offended by that. So that was the beginning of the entree into our friendship, right? Well, it took quite a long time for the wires to be connected for us to understand who his mother was. But it still did not occur to me the memory of that prayer until the day that his father had a stroke. And we were walking into the hospital, and his mom and sister were walking out. And before I even had the chance to say hello to her, she said, what are you doing here with my son? And then it occurred to me, oh my gosh, I felt like the biggest universal joke had been played upon me. And I was looking at him and realizing this and totally in a panic because I didn't like him. I mean, barely as a friend, but certainly not in any other way. And we've been together since 1991 and I have 3 kids, so it all worked out. So you never know You never ever know. But when you do, it's amazing. So there you go. That's my little marriage talk.